Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the fishing show. It's a bit overdue, we've had a busy summer, but we've got some cracking content for you today. I'm out here on one of my favourite pleasure fisheries, just fishing the method feeder, testing a few new products as normal. And as you can see, I'm hooked into a right creature here. Well, on this week's video, we've got some lovely stuff for you to watch. There's some entertaining stuff with Ellis Brazier and the Jedi himself, Harry Pardoe. I don't know which of those two guys is the best angler, but it's definitely one of them two. Definitely. Well, they fight it out. They try loads of different methods to catch loads of different fish and see what they can catch. Let's take a look now and see how they get on.
Good morning. We're here today in Shropshire. Beautiful countryside up in Church Stretton under the Carass Hill, and we're doing a bit of a fishing challenge, aren't we,
Yeah, a bit
Harry?
of a challenge piece, yeah. We're going to do 3 and 3. We're going to try and get 3 fish on 3 different presentations off the bottom. The same fishing off the top, and we're going to do a float presentation as well, aren't we?
Yeah, try and get 3 on a float.
Try, yeah.
A big day.
Yeah, big day, big day. Yours is already bigger than mine, look.
There's a few fish in here, but you know, it won't be the easiest. Okay then, Harry, so first challenge, what is it?
Fishing on the deck.
Fishing on the deck.
I'm going a little bit match style.
Yeah.
I've snuck a rod out already. I
was just going to say that.
I've chucked the method in. I've got a head starter now.
And you're feeding while I'm talking to you, aren't you?
Well,
you know, you're proper cheating,
I
really,
didn't think you'd notice that, but yeah.
Yeah, righto. Right, so I'm gonna carp it up a bit, carp style.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I'm in.
Ah, cheated. Perfect.
Bite on cue.
Cheating.
For this one, number 1 ticked off hopefully on the method, and that's not been out very long. But there are a few out there. Nothing complicated. Single piece of corn on the hair and some Sonia Bates Scopex and Thatcher's green on the feeder, and that's it. In. First one. First one out. Marvellous. Out she comes. Little baby. Right, this is what I just caught that fish on. A single grain of that banoffee sweet corn. Our Dura method. With a flying back lead just behind, which is a 3 gram Olivet, just because I'm feeding 8mm hard pellets over the top. And now I'm gonna chuck the straight lead, because I've had one on the method and I need to get one on another presentation. And this one's on something a little bit special because it's our new phase 1 rod. It's my first go on this. So, let's see what all the hype's about.
I'm in. So, I've gone carpy style, but with a feeder. Fishing one of our little heli rigs just up above it, open-ended feeder, blocked with bread, liquidized bread, and a few bits and pieces in the middle. And we've got a bite straight away on it. Was going to sneak the other rod out, make it look as though there's one on the rest, and then sneak the other one out just down the side there. Been baiting a little spot in the edge. When Harry's not looking, we'll pop that one out in a second, because I reckon that one will be good for a better fish. Oh!
What happened now?
I got him in, he was in the net. Yeah, he counts. don't want to talk about it. Oh dear. I got him in, Harry. He was in the net. He counts. Honestly, grab the leader. It's oh dear. Right, let's start again. So really, I just brought this in to show you how I set up my feeder. It's not because I just had a bite and lost a fish right at the net. Okay, so one of our open-ended feeders on the bottom, our little heli rig with a piece of maize. Nothing more simple. Absolutely dead standard kit. Hook link of about 6 inches long. So just some liquidized bread. Nothing more simple than that. Just wedging that in the end. Then this mix of maple peas, hemp and meat, sweet corn, maize, a few pellets, a few misognu, halibut pellets in there as well, and then just a bit more bread to plug it in the top. We want that to burst really on impact with the water and just spread it out as it goes. We're not going too far out, 15 yards or so. Really, really simple fishing, but very effective. Okay, let's get this out, see if we can get another bite.
What happened there then, Rob? Did he land it? Was it?
He lost it, mate.
Oh, on camera?
Yeah.
At the net?
Uh-huh.
Oh. I'll probably do it later. That's my second presentation. Nothing. 2 pellets, straight lead, feeding hard 8 mils over the top. That's it.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. One thing I am doing, I'm lining up on the far bank. I've got a big rock opposite me, so I can see where I've got to feed.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm always feeding in the same line. And then I've just chucked that in. So while I've got the rings from that, just gonna put a pouch straight over the top. Simple as that. Hopefully it can straight round again.
Okay, so still trying to catch one on the block open end feeder. Managed to lose 2 on it now. Just had a bit of a liner, maybe a bite. If it doesn't go, we're going to replace that in 5 minutes. That's the way with them. The more you keep building up the swim, the better it is. And so we're hoping to catch one on that, get our third method. But in the meantime, I'm just got a little tricky yellow stiff-hinged pop there. That's the third bite on that hasn't developed. We're just going to drop this down the edge here, and we're just going to see if we can get ourselves a bite on this. Sneak the second rod out. Was that going? Does the lassoed roach count, Harry?
What's happening, hell?
I think that counts. Nobody said carp.
No,
Good God. That is punishing, isn't it?
Oh, that'll be on then. Did you catch that? Supposed to borrow me rod. Right, so that's presentation number 2.
Okay, so I've had a bit of a lame day on the feeder. Lost a couple right at the net. They're not going to let me count it, so we've got to catch one now. Now, I would call this adapting a method. Some people would call it blind cheating. But basically what I've done is I've stuffed a load of mixers in between 2 lots of bread in the open end feeder. I am then fishing a 8-foot hook link that puts me just slightly over depth, and I'm going to let the mixers come up and then that rise up above it and hopefully get a bite. It's a feeder, but not as we know it. It's the zig feeder. No, I don't feel it's cheating. I feel it's adapting skills. Adapt and overcome. It's adapt and overcome. There's the feeder, clear for everybody to see. It's a good fish. Yeah, it's a nice fish. And he's in the net. Yes. So, one on the feeder. Feeder clearly there, 8 foot above the actual hook bait. Little male common. Wonderful.
Right, that's the first challenge completed. We've had one on the lead, one on the method, and Ellis has finally had one on the feeder after his lassoed roach. And next one is 3 different presentations on the float. I'm going to start on the pellet waggler. I think Ellis is going traditional, and then we'll try and get something up the inside on a blob float. Yeah. I've been feeding the 8mm hard pellet. I had a few iffy bites. They're not really having it, and I've just pinched a little bit of bread round the pellet, and it literally hit the water and hooked itself. So just a quick change and another bite. All right, close for netting. I think this might be about my biggest one of the day as well. Most definitely. Biggest one of the day for me so far. Shallow, over the pellet. Just a quick change of bait, something more visual I thought. And it went straight away. First one on the float.
All right, so it's quite tough. We're going to try and catch one on the top now. What I put out here is I put an overdepth zig. We've got heavy wind coming in from the side. It's a southerly wind coming down the valley, and although it's a nice carp fishing wind, it's basically just blowing everything the minute it hits the surface. So it's really, really hard to put a float out with a surface bait. But what I've done here is I put a zig 2 to 2.5 foot over depth, and then I'm feeding over the top of it constantly and trying to get the carp to follow that stream of mixers up in the wind. We've got a lot of ducks as well, and then hopefully one will mistake it as they get confident with the baits. They'll mistake my little fake floater on the top for a real one, and we'll get a bite. So let's see how it goes. A lot of feeding, a lot of work. Basically, the harder you work, the more chance you've got of catching a fish. So let's do it. I'm playing it very gingerly, not only because I'm on a little hook and light line, but I've lost every fish I've hooked virtually today. Don't think it's a big fish. Beautiful to play a fish on the Excalibur. It's just a shame it's on such a long hook link. And he doesn't want to come in at all. On the zig, just as they're about to come in. And job done. I'll get the mat. So like I thought, only a little one, but welcome all the same. And our first one off the top in what's been quite trying with the strong southerly wind we've got. But let's pop her back, see if we can catch on a different method off the top.
So I've just had that one on the pellet waggler shallow. So the next presentation is going to be traditional waggler. It's a bit tough today in this wind, to be fair. So you see that I've gone over depth. I'm just going to try and drag the hard mill pellet over where I've been feeding. See if we can have one. I have lost it. Oh dear. Payback on camera. Second attempt at the traditional waggler after pulling out that one. That's the traditional waggler ticked off. I think we've just got the blob float to do now, the margins for float fishing.
Okay. All right, so we've caught one on over depth zig. Well, that's a real effective method as shown. But now we're going to try one with a surface bomb. It's Korum's new float. I'm using the bright option. We're getting a few on the top. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of rain, but let's keep the mixers going in and see if we can do it. Okay.
Chucked out the surface bomb and it's literally gone straight away. The beauty of these is the fish hook themselves against it. One off the top.
Okay, so what we're doing, we've got a float adjustable that slides up. I'm going to set it at about water depth. Just back from it, I'm going to prop the rod up, and just back from it I've got a mixer here that's just going to be hanging down in the water with no line on the surface. It's a strange method, but it can be really, really effective. So let's see if we can get this out and get a bite on it. You wouldn't believe that's a method, would you? Ah, it's off again.
Yeah.
Was that the rod nearly going in? It's crazy fishing, isn't it? Absolutely crazy fishing. Well, I'm going to set it up again. We've got to get this one, haven't we? There we go. Holding it. See that, Harry? I just held it. Just put it out and held it. Can you imagine how many you'd catch if you set up a couple of rods doing it? It's a very strange fight with this method. You really don't need them doing that. Come on. Yes, there you go. Third method on the float. On the surface, sorry. Yeah. 3 off the top. Lovely little golden common. Completes our 3 off the top. I think we've got a couple to do on the float. And we've done it. Great sport.
Yeah, really.
What a finale. Both on the vlog.
It's been a good day, ain't it, mate?
It's been a great day. Started with the double, we've ended with the double. All the tasks completed. You know, you could say I've cheated on one, but I think cheating's winning.
Yeah, bending the rules.
Bending the rules, Harry,
Bending
yeah.
the rules.
Yeah, excellent day's fishing.
Yeah, great fun.
Great sport,
Great fun.
had some great fish. Good bit of fun.
Well, if you weren't entertained by those pair of clowns, I don't know what will entertain you. Catching fish on so many different methods, having a bit of banter with your mate, you can't beat it, can you? And whilst I do love fishing on my own, you can't beat a bit of companionship. You know what, we're blokes, we love having the crack, and if you can catch a few nice fish along the way, there's nothing wrong with that. But fishing on your own and filming on your own is something else as well. Nick Marsh is a great angler on our team who pretty much films and edits all his own content, and we're really lucky that he sent us another absolute gem. This time he's Crucian carp fishing, something that Nick has done quite a lot of over the years, and he's really perfected the methods. So check this out, and I'm going to land this big zoo animal that I've got on the end before he does me in the reeds.
I'm not sure if you can tell, but it is an absolutely boiling day. It's got to be 27 degrees, really hot, but still lovely to be out. Those sort of temperatures are going to make the fish a little bit tough, but I'm hoping that we can catch a Crucian carp on the flatbed feeder. So we're using light line and small hooks, so we need a very forgiving rod. I'm using my Trilogy with the power quiver tip, so a nice soft rod. I've got 8-pound main line on the reel, and that's coming down to a flatbed feeder. In there is a quick change swivel with a sleeve. I've got 6-pound fluorocarbon as a hook length, small size 16 hook, and a tiny little piece of rubber corn. And that's it really. It's not buoyant corn, it's just a slow sinking piece of fake corn. So on the feeder I'm going to use a mix of krill and squid ground bait mixed with 2mm krill pellets. You just need to add a bit of water to that. I'd rather it was a little bit dry than a little bit wet. I can always add a little bit more water. It takes no time at all to be ready to go on the feeder. So fairly typical feeder tactics really, where I just want to fish accurate. I want to hit the clip, fish accurately. I'm going to put it onto the feeder quite loosely for the first 4 casts, and I'm just going to hit the clip and bring it straight back in. So really I'm wanting it to fall off the feeder. That's why I'm putting it on quite loose, retrieving it almost just to get a bit of bait out there. Then on the 5th cast I'm actually going to compress it and make it a little bit more firm, because I want it to stay on the feeder. Because on the 5th cast I'm going to leave it in, and I'm going to leave it there for at least half an hour or so, and then I'm going to recast every 20 minutes, half an hour after that. There we are, that's what it looks like on the flatbed feeder. Let's get it out into the lake, see if we can get one of those Crucians. Oh my God, Nick. Mate. Oh my God. Here we are, fishing the flatbed feeder, and we've got exactly what we're after. Check him out. What a stunning, stunning little Crucian. Yep, flatbed feeder. It's got krill and squid, ground bait, 2mm krill pellets on the flatbed feeder, fake corn, small look, tiny rig. Stunning, stunning little Crucian. Let's get him back.
Well, this kind of hit and hold fishing, just took to fish right out the side in the reeds, reminds me of an awesome bit of footage we've been sent by Joe Carass. Joe lives in a brilliant part of the world for big chub, small rivers, big chub, and he's been fishing opportunist style to catch them, using great big pieces of meat and often just free lining for these great big fish. Let's catch up with Joe. Joe shows you what he does, because the methods he uses will work on all the small rivers anywhere near you as well. The tactics will work absolutely anywhere.
Well, good morning guys, we're up nice and early. It's just 5:10 in the morning, the birds are singing, a little bit overcast but nice low pressure day. And I had a look at the weather and the conditions just screamed that I had to get out fishing. And I absolutely love doing this, get up nice and early, grab a couple of quick hours before I start work at 8:30. So here on the River Nene, got its beautiful little narrow section. It's just behind me over my shoulder here. So we're going to have a look. Some little nook and cranny swims, there's all sorts here. There's rush beds, there's willows, there's gravel runs, there's all sorts to explore in this little sort of half-mile section of the river. So without further ado, I think we should get some kit out and go and have a go. Right, so I'm just about to creep into my first swim of the day, which is just behind me through these trees. And I just thought it'd be worth talking about the kit super quick. So I've got a 10-foot, 2¼ pound test curve opportunist rod, nice big reel loaded with 10-pound barbel line, nice strong stuff, belt and braces, and that is fished straight through to a lovely sharp size 6 grapple hook. Absolutely awesome, perfect for a nice big bit of meat that I'm going to be putting on. And because I'm fishing meat today, I want to be fishing it as close to free lined as possible. So the little setup I've got here, although it is super simple, is actually quite important. And all I've got is that size 6 grappler tied direct to the end of my line, and then I've got 1 or 2 swan shot, probably 18 inches from the hook. Now these are really important, even though it's as rudimentary of a rig as possibly can be, it's actually really effective, because in the slow swims I can take these off and free line the meat, but where there's a bit more pace or a bit more depth, I can either add 1 or 2 swan shot. And the key thing here is it's balanced, so that they only just hold the bottom. That's the key. By that I can cast it into any, it's almost like lure fishing. I can cast my little piece of meat into all little nooks and crannies and stuff like that. And because I've got this nicely balanced, all I have to do is either move my rod tip or pull the line ever so slightly, and it'll work the meat down the swim. So that is it, a simple and effective rig, strong tackle. Could have some rooks on our hands today. If we are lucky to catch a few chub, it's ever so weedy. and this strong tackle means that we can get them out with minimal fuss. So let's get through these bushes and see if we can catch one.
That looks lovely just in there. There's a little runoff. There's a weir in the distance there. Okay, so this is a bit of a jungle swim. Maybe better in the one down below. But we'll give this one a little go. Got on. Nice big cube of meat. I'm just going to try and flick it under these trees. I reckon if I get a nice long drop, I can pendulum it just off that reed there. Can I practice one? Let's see what happens. She had a bite then, I missed it. There's a kingfisher there, look, just sat on the tree. Beautiful. I think I've had my chance in this spot. In these small rivers, you don't tend to get many chances. Here comes a kingfisher, look. Sat on that tree, can you see him? No, that's it, my chance is gone. Oh, I've got one. Yes. Get him. Yeah.
Well guys, I thought I'd missed my chance in that swim. I missed a good bite. Just chucked it upstream. Got a real funny little pluck. Got this little, absolute little mint, little chub.
Yes. So I just never caught anything in this swim, and I just flicked it at the back of that tree, and I just felt in my fingers a nice fish. And I've got one here. It might be £4, so whew, cracking. Good scrap that.
So there you go guys. Lovely little morning 3-pounder, bit of a warrior. Not going to weigh him, but probably 3 and a bit pound. Bit spawned out. Had a scrape with an otter looking at that tail, but lovely fish, absolutely lovely fish, and absolutely nail that piece of meat. So let's get him back and we'll move downstream. But buzzing with that, great little result, and pressure's off now. Nice chub.
No, this is a new swim for me. Never fished this one. Looks nice, nice even flow. In the words of Pearl Jam. Oh, I had a bite then. Yes. Whew.
What a battle. Look at him. Chucked the meat against the grass and pulled the rod out of my hands after missing a bite. I was feeling a bit dejected with myself, but look at that, beautiful. That got the old ticker going, and I reckon I've got another 3 spots to explore, and then it's work time. But even if I don't get another bite, I'll be happy with the 3 fish I've caught. Beautiful. It's worth talking about swims, just quickly. Obviously any overhang, willows and stuff is well worth a try, but swims like this I found on this river are absolutely not dead certs, but often the best ones for chub. You've got like a bit of a straight here that's quite even pace, there's a bit of depth, and these reeds, they're ever so undercut under there, and I think the chub just sort of lie along there, and I just got my meat right next to that reed there, and I had one bite, then I chucked it back in and it absolutely ripped off. So this looks like a boring swim to people just walking past. They probably won't even look at this one because it's not got bulrushes and overhangs and stuff, but trust me, in my experience, especially on this river, these sort of swims with this nice even pace, bit of depth, are brilliant for chub, so never ignore these ones.
I watched him come up and take it, that one. Come out of nowhere. Absolutely awesome. Wow. Yes. Actually chucked the piece of meat in, saw the old chub come out of the reeds and take it. Brilliant. Awesome fishing.
Another fish from the Nene, another nice little summer 2.5 pounder probably. But what was interesting about that one is found another spot with more of these sort of thick green rushes. I don't know what they aren't bulrushes, they're sort of irises, and I flicked a piece of meat right next to it, and this beauty just came out of nowhere and absolutely nailed it, and I saw it happen. Just brilliant, lovely to see. And I just watched him come out of the reeds and absolutely smash that piece of meat. Didn't even wait for an indication, I just struck into him because I could see he'd nailed the bait. So there we go guys, our before work session has come to an end. The road's starting to get busy now. People are off to work. I've got to get to work as well, unfortunately. But there you go, that's the nature of the beast, and that is what these sessions are all about. Snatching a couple of hours. I've got a young family, and sometimes these 2 hours are the only bit of fishing I get in the week. So I make the most of it. I get up nice and early, get down the river. This is nice and local for me. Catch a few chub, but what could be better? We've had 4 nice fish today. Really enjoyable fishing, basically free lining meat. Just awesome fishing, the true essence of fishing in my opinion, and I'm going to go to work now with a massive smile on my face, so give it a go this summer, you won't be disappointed.
Well, I've had a lovely day's fishing today. Days like this at Carney's pool, a nice pleasure fishery, reminds me why I love fishing so much. And this next video is with the ladies, telling you about why they love fishing. Let's hear from them, and it might inspire you to speak to the wife, your girlfriend, your sister, your mother, your auntie, and get them fishing as well. Let's get this beauty back, and I'll see you on the fishing show next time for a Predator special.
I'm 20 and I started fishing 2 years ago properly, but I've been fishing since I was a kid with my dad, and every time I went with him it's just something that Dad did. It's only until I got mature and I was older that I really started to enjoy fishing and everything about it.
I started fishing when I was a girl. Everyone went fishing, it was just what the kids did. It was what kept us out of trouble. And I started by catching small like silvers, rod and roach and perch, and then gradually worked my way up to carp fishing. There's so much more to fishing than just catching fish. My phrase is that fishing's good for the soul.
There's some special moments that you get from fishing, isn't there? I'd popped down to see my dad, who was fishing on a local lake, and I saw this person running down the bank, waving at me from the back of the car. What's up? I've caught a tench, I've caught a big tench, can you come and take a picture? It was such a lovely, lovely moment.
It helps me to relax, and it just helps me to tap into my mental health a bit, and it helps me to know when I'm feeling a bit worked up, so I know that I need to take a step back. But I find when I'm fishing as well, if I'm concentrating on something, it just helps put my mind at rest.
It's just me in that moment, and the only thing I can focus on is myself and the fish, really. So that's why I really enjoy it.
I've been through a lot of stuff in the past. I've been through therapy, which has helped me massively, but my biggest thing in the past few years has been the fishing.
So that's helped you with your mental health?
It's been my lifeline, and especially when the lockdown come about and we was allowed to fish again, that was just like the best thing ever, really.
There's two different types of fishing for me. There's like fishing for myself, like social fishing, fishing with friends, fishing with the girls, whatever. You know, when you're chilled out, and sometimes I'm actually sat there and I'm thinking, I'm not even bothered if I catch. Like I need, like you say, you need that time away, don't you? And just putting the rods out is part of the process. Do you think you need a lot of time to go fishing?
Yeah, not necessarily. You can go for a couple of hours, yeah.
Summer nights.
Yeah, I think that's my favourite time, you know, in the summer, when it doesn't get dark until 9 p.m.
Sometimes people think that money's a bit of a barrier and it's an expensive hobby to get started in. What do you think?
No, I'd recommend going down to your local tackle shop, you know.
They do the mega little starter kits, don't they?
Rod and reel combos with the line on as well.
You know, you don't need expensive gear to catch fish. Fish don't know the difference,
They
do they?
really don't, no.
So, one tip to get started.
My top tip's going to have to be pick a nice day.
Pick a nice day, good top tip. Ooh, my top tip would be take your camera to capture that precious moment.
Don't leave the house without a fishing licence. You can do it online, you can get, you know, a one-day one, or you can get an annual one so you don't have to worry about it. That's what I do.
Do you know where that money gets spent, where the Environment Agency spends
Isn't it
money?
to like maintain the waters and like just environment?
Yeah. They spend it on things like making sure that, you know, places like this have got stock in the rivers, working on pollution, they combat illegal fishing. So it's really important why we buy the rod licence.
If you're going to take up fishing, now is the perfect time of year. I think once you've got the love for fishing, it never goes away. It stays with you for a lifetime.